These are very important news for Diablo Immortal, alright? So, there was an interview with Emil Salin. This guy, it is the art director for Diablo Immortal. So, he did an interview. You know, sometimes they do like these PR moves and all these things. There is a very important segment here that I want you guys to read. Diablo Immortal did not have the best launch. Fans didn't like the idea of playing Diablo game on the mobile to begin with, and the expensive microtransaction didn't help the case. So I don't think like the mobile was the major issue. I absolutely agree with the fact that Diablo players, they are mainly PC, and PC gamers, they absolutely despise microtransactions. Okay, only mobile players are the ones that started accepting it, and nowadays unfortunately it became like a market standard. It's not gonna go away, it's only gonna get worse. And the thing is, like, the microtransactions are going, and they are already trying to contaminate not only the mobile games, but also the PC and the console games, as you guys know. So it's only gonna get worse with time. Sooner or later, probably it's gonna be more expensive to actually play some video games than actually buying a house. But the important information, it is here. Look at it, boy. 3 years later, the story has changed. Diablo Immortal has more than 400,000 daily players. Okay, 400,000 daily players. Man. First of all, I believe that this gotta be worldwide. There is no way that this is not worldwide. And I feel it is pretty low. So if we head here, you guys remember this? ActivePlayer.io. A few months ago, we had a discussion about these guys. That I said that there was this website, and a lot of people said that it was inaccurate. I said that it was inaccurate too, just because of the fact that I felt that the player base was actually too high. So the first time that I checked this, it was probably last year, and this number was actually around like 800 or 900, and I said that honestly, I don't think it was possible. I don't think it was possible. And my argument is that like, if you look at the YouTube viewership, something just doesn't add up. You cannot have almost 1 million players and only have like 2% of the player base as gamers to actually go and check YouTube, okay? I know that a lot of people do not check YouTube, but it just doesn't add up. Most gamers nowadays, the way you play, most of them will eventually go to YouTube to check a guide on too. So something was not adding up, especially, for example, also whenever there was these announcements for the game or the news. Usually, you know, they do a couple thousand, but it's not like they do like 30,000, 50,000, like many other games that have a much bigger player base, right? So I said that, in my opinion, the problem was that maybe it was counting also the bots, and probably was counting, you know, alt accounts. Like, because I was not believing that Diablo Immortal has 800 to 1 million. With this being said, now we have here some official numbers. The official number is that Diablo Immortal has more than 400,000 daily players. But they say that every year they receive several updates and changes that rival any AAA live service title that you can think of. Honestly, the truth is, like, the game, since I started to play, it is definitely much better. Quality of life, it is much better. I felt like during my first year, the progression, and have in mind, I am free to play, so it's a slower progression, which in my opinion, it is better as a gamer. But yeah, the game keeps getting better. But there is one core issue that I wanna speak as well. But it says here, while it hasn't quite reached to the peak of the daily players from millions it had in December last year. Have in mind that December last year, it only had millions of players because it was whenever Diablo came up. Okay, Diablo came here. And I don't know, man, like, because like we got here a small bump because we were able to kill Diablo, and then everyone gets like quite hyped. But since then, since people killed Diablo, came back, it's going downhill, right? There was a small bump here for the Druid. People came and checked the new classes, maybe they stayed a bit, but now, bro, August and September, it was super critical. 400,000, it is very low considering most players are from China. I don't think like Diablo Immortal is as popular as you guys think in China. Like they have so many more games. And the culture on the mobile, it is so insane over there. You also have to understand, in China, there is way more competition for Diablo Immortal. Way more. Games, they don't even come for the West. They literally just get launched there. I feel like this has to be the total player base. In my eyes, I can see this as a more realistic number. So that's how it is. China has its own servers. Bro, this is Blizzard that we're talking about, man. Blizzard has access, obviously, to all the numbers of every game in China or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell me that these websites, they don't, and I agree with you, but Blizzard has access to all the information. It's also their game. Like, they do all the marketing. NetEase only does the development. That's pretty much it, right? Blizzard is preparing new experience in attempt to grab players one more time. At the Brazil Game Show 2025, the gamer has a chance to speak with Emil. The gamer, I think, is like this guy, is a website. Lead artist of Diablo. We spoke how the team managed the main interest in the game and what you can expect. Rising the Ashes. I think Diablo Immortal success today says a lot about how we work on the development team. We work very closely with our players. We listen to what they want and we work really hard to try to make this come true. I know that for us as a player base, sometimes it doesn't feel like to, but I went to the Blizzard headquarters. I spoke with a few developers, right? I'm also Diablo partner, so I have access to a few developers and the chats that goes there. I cannot go like, you know, that deep. What I can say is that they definitely have good intent. All right, and I feel like a lot of like these developer teams, not only for Blizz but also for other games, they always have good intent. It's just like they also have these other interests. Okay, so we as a player, we are first very biased to our perspective as a player, and we are not thinking about monetization. We're not thinking about any of this bullshit because we don't care. We just want to play the best game that is possible. And how is that translated? It's translated in fun, it's translated in many other ways. But the developer team has to, like whenever they are developing the game, there's a lot more other things, okay? Especially make sure that the game, it is not super easy in a way that people don't feel like they don't need to spend money. And you have to understand, like, everything at the end of the day, when it comes to these mobile games, it is all about money, okay? It is money first, then player satisfaction, and whatever is the rest, right? Because they gotta present their bills, and that's why we're seeing a decline over the years of the gaming industry. Like the problem is that these gaming companies are making more money than they ever did. It's like most games are not good games, and the fact is because it's so rooted in everything gotta be monetized. It's just like it's just sick. We want better cosmetics. I don't think players really want better cosmetics. Maybe they do, but what I feel like players really want, it is a challenge. And because as soon as a game stops being challenging, you get bored. And whenever a game is bored, you're gonna stop quitting the game. You're gonna quit the game. That's just the way it is. The game releases a lot of content. Well, okay. And a lot of it also to kind test things out. We are also not afraid to kind of push the boundaries. Okay, I don't know about that one, but I don't know, like, what is something that Blizzard pushed the boundaries recently? Maybe I'm just having a blank, but I never saw like anything like groundbreaking. Most things that they implemented inside a game, for example, thinking about the crafting system, super good idea. I was super excited, but yet it fell flat. Like the whole, like, it's just everything is capped. You cannot farm, you cannot craft. It's just like, it's just there. There's like really nothing exciting about it. When players have feedback, we'll always have to listen to them, improving the game further. A lot of these efforts have turned out to be a huge success that the Diablo Immortal is today. So whenever you zoom out and you look like in the mobile market, obviously Diablo Immortal, it is still a success. It's probably one of the top games that there is, just for the fact that the success rate of these mobile games are very low. It doesn't mean like there are not better games, but definitely Diablo Immortal when it comes to his own genre. Right now, it is the uncontested king. I mean, and I think that's actually a bad thing. I feel like that's a bad thing for you to be the king on the hill, because if there was severe competition to Diablo Immortal, as we, for example, have on Diablo 4, because they have Path of Exile 1, Path of Exile 2, Last Epoch, No Rest for the Wicked, the competition is so severe on the PC side that it is kind of crazy, okay? If any of these games, any of these, you know, IPs aside from Diablo also comes to mobile, I think we're gonna have a severe competition, and I think those are gonna be the years that probably Diablo Immortal will improve the most, because they will have competition. That's what I think. When we are discussing the current 4.1 patch, Silent says that they are proud of the work that they did to improve the PvP system. Okay. I don't know, man. Listen. Every single patch that we say that we're gonna have matchmaking improvement systems, every single time there is the same issue. There is still class stacking. Now there's this bot issue, man. There's bots every freaking where. Like, I don't like the bots. It's just like, please let me disable the bots. I don't want to play against bots. Yeah, it's easier to get to legend, but I don't want to, man. It's like literally feels like a waste of time to play against those bots. I understand that for new players, if you want to test a build, go play against bots. It is easier for them to get into the game. But man, I've been like multiple times rank 1. I played all the seasons since I started to play this game, and I don't need to play against bots. You know, it just feels like really freaking bad, man. He also tells that they increased the speed at which players can run through the dungeons. This was big. Dungeons are definitely better. The addition of the goblins, the Blast Hunter, yeah, dungeons and green set farm, we cannot complain about that, okay? Like, anyone that says that is not better is capping, okay? Probably you're just a hater. It is definitely better than it was. The main quest is the penultimate one before the final quest in a few months. I'm sure we're gonna kill Albert or something like that. The great thing about Diablo Immortal team is that we never run out of ideas. Okay. Everyone has too many ideas, so we have a lot of things that are waiting. I feel like I'm sure that, you know, one thing, I also have a lot of ideas as a creator, right? I think everyone has ideas, and there is like this famous saying that the graveyard is full of great ideas because nobody ever actually done that. And that's the issue. I feel like one of the reasons that I think we don't get a lot of new content, it is because we are so stuck at repairing the broken systems from the past, right? Because not only are systems that they are completely outdated, for example, the charm system or many other systems in a game, but at the same time, we also have, for example, the continuous problem with the matchmaking, the continuous problem with many other parts of the game that it's like, because these parts of the game are still not well done or well refined, they still have to go every single patch, every single major patch, go and try to fix. Then there are bugs that we actually fix, and then they come back. And it's just like, I'm not going to say it's annoying. I'm saying it's annoying as a player. I can only imagine how annoying also it is as a developer to also always be hearing that, you know, for example, let's look at the new major patch. We're going to have a new major patch. There is big work that they are doing here, but which is the tournament, the PvP tournament. I think is going to be a W. But the rest, what is the rest? They added another layer of a pet system with amalgamations. Okay, listen, this has already been in China for like a year, so this is pretty much a copy paste. Then we have recycled events. Then we have a new Phantom Market cosmetic, which in my opinion, it is pretty mid. I don't think it is gonna sell a lot. Maybe collectors will still buy it. And then there is the new instances and a few tweaks here and there. The legendary item blessing idea, I think it is a good idea. I think this may be a good idea. A 1 hour blessing per day that is gonna increase, you know, the chance of you getting the new answers, rare drops, and all these things. And also have in mind, whenever they put like these features, it's to keep you stuck in the game if you want, but while you do your daily stuff, you will get the blessing on, and maybe you're still gonna have a 1 hour game time, which is nice. Then a few updates, and that's pretty much it, right? There is nothing like really that groundbreaking that they are actually added in this major patch. It's just some nuances, and hopefully we're gonna get like fun builds out of it. They're saying, as we discussed the characters and environments, we're curious about Salin and his team created detailed designs that you can fit on the screen of your phone. He explains that work in the big side tablets first, and then they check how it translates to a smaller scale accordingly. All right. One of the biggest pillars for us is readability. Whenever we design our monsters, our characters, we tend to design to be top part bigger and then the lower a little bit quicker for in terms of visuals because of the camera is cut down. Okay, this is actually kind of interesting though. So you can see the top part more. I wish like maybe in the future we could actually zoom out a bit more. I feel like the camera, it is fine. I think the camera, it is fine. But like sometimes I just wish I could have the control of the camera a bit more, like zoom ins and zoom outs. But I will say, Diablo Immortal on a mobile, it is kind of sick, man. It is sick. It works really flawlessly, in my opinion. It's probably one of the games that it just works. It works and it's quite easy to play without a controller. I'm not like, whenever you add a controller, I know that a lot of people prefer it, it's more comfortable, but I'm saying just tapping it, you know, you can actually play really well. A lot of times I'm playing on my tablet and I'm watching a show and I'm playing at the same time. So I like it that way. What would you add to Diablo for Halloween? I guess nothing. I guess nothing. We didn't even have a Battle Pass cosmetic this time. But Sally shows me some exclusive photos of the Halloween cosmetics coming into the game. The team is the failed marriage. Okay, so they are talking about this one, the Phantom cosmetics right here. This one right here, where the husband kills the wife and then she comes back as a ghost to kill him. I see the picture of the bride with blood coming down her neck, dismembered arm grabbing her right arm, and the groom's head floating. So this pretty much is talking about and describing the print screen that we had. The lead artist also tells that the team is to great lengths to portray exactly what they want, no matter how ugly and unsettling it can be. I feel like the Diablo Immortal, not the world in specific, but if we're talking about, for example, cosmetics especially, I think the game is getting a bit too cute. I believe it's getting a bit too cute. We're losing a bit of the darkness and the vibe of like the Diablo game. I wish I could record our meetings every day in the heart team, because things that we discuss, it's not the most conventional discussion. Should we need more blood? Like I'm sure like also like this guy is the art, you know, is an art director. So I'm sure that he plays on the fun part. I'm sure like the people that are actually like dealing with the annoying things, it's like the game designers, they are dealing with the system, they are, or the game system designer, you know, the nerf and the buffs teams. These are the ones that probably are dealing with like the very meticulous, you know, details of the game that can actually make it or break it. Like the guy that has to balance the game, the balancing team, oh man, I wouldn't like to be there. I'm telling you that. To close the interview, Salin tells me that he cannot go into specifics, but the Diablo Immortal team has a lot more content for the next year that is ready to go. He shows excitement about new things, that they will test it out, and is looking forward for the fans' reception. We can also take a minute to for our latest collaboration with the Berserk, the series. Oh, this was great. Can we acknowledge how great this was? I was super hyped. First of all, I think it was very unexpected, and I think it kind of fitted like really well. I know that there are a few people that don't like anime and didn't watch anime. You don't need to watch the anime to just enjoy it, right? I think it was kind of cool. We had the boss with all these things. You know, one that was insanely bad? Hearthstone. The Hearthstone collaboration, man, I felt, in my opinion, they put so much effort on the cards. I mean, like, they just imported the artwork and all these things, right? But they did like almost everything right, except how you got to use the actual cards. You just collect the cards, and then what? I don't want to go to Trial of the Hordes to use cards. I wanna farm with them. I wanna do dungeons with them. Maybe I understand don't bring them into PvP, but what about just creating a special PvP? No ratings, just to go and have fun. Maybe you can also put a leaderboard. Can you guys imagine? We have like we have this PvP season, and then we had an event PvP battlegrounds leaderboard that you could use, like this special, you know, shadow form or the, you know, the whirlwind or whatever is the card that you're using. And it runs for 2 weeks, and then you get like some crests, the top one or something like that. We need more fun ideas like that. I feel like it was something that it got me extremely disappointed. Thank God I was in vacation. Okay, thank God I was in vacation, and only whenever I came from vacation, I actually like realized how bad it was. But yeah, I wanted to speak about these 400,000 daily players. Definitely lower than it was 1 year ago. It's not a surprise, guys. It's not a surprise. But at the same time, I don't know, man. It cannot be only English. It cannot be only English. It's just too less.